and welcome to the How to Play series for Meridians. We're going to kick off today with the opening track, The World That You Left Behind. So to begin with, we need to make sure that the guitar is tuned to drop D. So that means that this bottom E string normally will be a D. So it should sound like this. Let's start with the main riff, the best rockin' bit. So it essentially comprises of 5 notes. You've got your open D, you've got the 8th fret of the A string, you've got the 9th fret of the D string, then you've got an open D again, then you've got the 9th fret of the A string, and then the 10th fret of the D string. So together we're just going to do the first 3 notes in a series for a few bars. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, so open. We're just going to focus on those 3 notes, the open D, the 8th fret of the A string, and the 9th fret of the D string. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to move up to the 9th fret on the A string and the 10th fret of the D string with the open D as well. So 2, 3, 4. So you'll see on the open tab, the first progression will go like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Then we go on to 2 chords, an F5 and a D open 5. Those 2 chords will be essentially barring the D, A, D on the 3rd fret. And then you've just got open top 3 strings, so you've got D, A, D. Dad. So it's going to go like this. Alright, have you got that? I bet you do. Let's try the whole riff together. So 2, 3, 4. Is the main riff. The first section of that is essentially what you'll do in the intro. The first section will also act as the middle 8, so you just keep on repeating that. But the intro, as you can tell, also has those F5 and D5 chords. Let's move on to the verse. So the verse has 2 sections, essentially 3 for the first verse, but we'll get to that in a minute. So for the first part, you essentially have 5 chords, but for the first chord we've got kind of variations, 3 variations on the first chord. So we'll talk about that first. So it's around D, and we've got D7, no 3. So I would put my 2nd finger onto the 5th fret of the A string. Then I've got my little 3rd finger that is on the 5th fret of the G string. Then we're moving on to a D6, no 3, so you're just essentially bringing the 1st finger onto the 4th fret of the G string and maintaining that 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Then we got a D5, so I usually bring my pinky onto the 7th fret of the D string and just maintaining that 1st finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Together, let's try those 3. 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we've got 2 chords, which will be a B flat 5, followed by a G major 7th. So I will play those chords with my 3rd finger, barring the D and A string, but having my pinky on the 9th fret of the D string, the higher D string. So it'll sound like that, so you're doing that twice. Bam, bam. The G major will be 1st finger barring the 5th fret of the D and the A string, and then keeping that little pinky on the 9th fret of the D string. So together that will sound like 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then we've got 2 more chords, so you've got your C and F6 with a no 3. So the first C is essentially first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. That's all that I play there. And then we move on to the F6. So it'll be with my first finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. And then I've got my pinky that plays the 5th fret of the A string. So it's a nice little discord there. Let's go for that whole verse together. You're starting off with a bit of a pan beat. Alright, let's try that together. 2, 3, 4. For the second part of the verse, you're essentially repeating everything exactly the same, but you're adding in, instead of the F, you add in a lovely little kind of B flat variation chord. So you're going to take that first finger onto the 8th fret and you're going to bar the D and A, and then the little pinky is going to be on the 10th fret of the D string. So let's do that second part of the verse. So we'll go together. 2, 3, 4. Let's try that whole verse section together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For the first verse, and this is the only variation in the first verse, you also have a lovely little octave. It's when it goes into the "Do you want life to taste good?" So you basically have first finger coming on to the 8th fret of the A string, and then your pinky is going to be on the 10th fret of the G string, and the rhythm goes like this. Alright, so now you know how to play the verses. Moving on to the chorus. The chorus consists of 2 parts. The first part essentially has got 4 chords. So you've got your B flat 5, which we've covered. You've got D5, which we will cover. An F with a little variation, and a C6-ish chord. I will go over those 4 first, and then we'll do the second part. So we've got our B flat 5, which you've got already. The D5 is essentially just going to be open D, A, D. The dad chord. So you're making sure to mute those bottom strings. Next one will be the F shape. So you're going to have your first finger that is essentially barring the 3rd fret of the D and the A string. Then you're going to have your pinky up on the 7th fret of the D string. So it sounds like this. Then you're going to sneak your first finger down to that 3rd fret of the A string, just blocking that D string, so you're kind of trying to mute it, and just keeping that pinky on that 7th fret of the D string. So it's like this. So for the second part of the chorus, you have essentially got 3 chords. You got your B flat 5, which we already know. Then we're going to go to our our F5, but the new one is going to be a G5, which is barring essentially the 5th fret of the D, A, D strings. The rhythm goes like this, so you've got your B flat 5 down to the F5, and then we're going to hammer on and push up to the G with, I usually use my 3rd finger. So it's going to go bam, 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 bam. So you're alternating between the G5 and the F5. Let's go for the whole chorus when you're ready. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I should add is in the second part of the chorus, you've also got a little chug. Once you do your B flat 5, then you got your F5. Then that's when you want to do the chug before you go. Let's just recap on the middle 8. So the middle 8 is just going to be that riff, the first part of the riff. Just keep that going for quite a few bars. Write your stories, write your stories, write your stories, your stories, write your stories, write your stories, write your stories. Let's move on to the outro. Essentially the outro will have this D kind of going throughout, but we have 3 little octaves that we're going to add underneath that. The first octave is going to be with your first finger on the A string. It's going to be on the 8th fret, and then pinky is going to be up on the 10th fret of the G string. Then we're going to shift that same shape just up 2 frets onto the first finger will be on the 10th fret, and then the pinky is going to be on the 12th fret of that G string, and then the next little octave is just going to be in between those 2. So you slide the same shape down, first finger leading to the 11th fret, the 10th fret, no, the 9th fret of the A string, and the pinky is going to be on the 11th fret then of the G string. So it's going to sound like this. Those are the 3 chords, 3 octaves. So I'll play the rhythm for you. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, D. Once you've got those 3 octaves, there is an extra little riff that we add in, which will essentially be first finger barring on the 9th fret of the DID, and then you move the second finger onto the barring of the DID on the 10th fret. So it just alternates, goes like that. So the first repetition is going to have that in it. So 2, 3, 4. When we do the second repetition, it just holds onto the 10th fret bar. Yeah? So let's try those both together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just repeat that to the very end, where you go. Open D is the last bit, so I actually just let them all ring out, even those discords at the bottom, because I quite like it. Alright, so let's play the whole song together, and it goes into that octave. Alright, so let's play back the entire song from start to finish. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is this the world that you left behind? Is it a
thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed rocking out with me, and I'll see you in the next episode.